Hey folks, how's it going? This is Iron Seagull here, and today I thought I'd do a guide of sorts for all of the different types of packs for The Sims 4 and what ones I recommend getting first. Because in case you didn't know, for the past few days, The Sims 4, at least on PC, has been free on Origin with no catch whatsoever. It's not like a trial or anything. Like once you redeem The Sims 4, then it's actually permanently yours in your library. So if you're even slightly thinking about getting The Sims 4 at some point in the future, then I highly recommend doing this right now. And there's not much time left. This is the last full day to redeem it, and then you have a little bit of time tomorrow morning because it will stop being free on May 28th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. But I do want to start off by saying, if you did just get The Sims 4 for free now, do not play the game until you have it fully updated. I know it might take a while depending on your internet speed, but trust me, it's worth the wait. Because the difference between The Sims 4 when it first came out in September 2014 and what it is now with all the free updates, it's just night and day. It's such a radical difference. There's so many basic things that did not come with The Sims 4 at launch, like toddlers and pools and ghosts and terrain manipulation that are in the game now. And you will have to update your game anyways if you want to buy some packs, so might as well just do it right away. Another thing that I think is really worth mentioning is that if you are on PC or Mac, you can use a bundling feature on Origin, and this way you can either bundle the base game with one expansion pack if you don't already have the base game, or if you do have the base game, then you can actually build a bundle of your own where you have one of each pack type in it, and that will save you 30%. The only other unfortunate drawback with this is that you cannot gift bundles to other people. But buying these for yourself, you can save a pretty decent amount of money, especially if you were lucky enough to get the Sims 4 base game for free, because then you have some money that you would have spent on the base game if you had bought it at the current price that it is, but now you have that money to spend on packs to make your game even better. Alright, so now that you've updated your game, I'm going to break down the 3 different pack types that are currently available for The Sims 4. We're going to start off with the cheapest ones, and these are called Stuff Packs. The normal price for these are $10 US, and we have a whopping 14 of these right now. Yep, pretty crazy. Usually we get 2 or 3 of them every year, but they've been on break for over a year because the latest one that was released at the time of recording this video anyways is the infamous My First Pet stuff. Yeah, you might have heard about how horribly this pack was received by critics and fans alike, so yeah, I suspect they are just taking a lot of time to make sure whatever stuff pack they put out next is going to be a really good one, because there is going to be the 15th stuff pack coming out sometime within the next 5 months. So yeah, here's hoping it won't be like My First Pet. But basically, stuff packs are meant to be bite-sized packs that you can pick up for a pretty cheap price and add some clothing and objects. There's some gameplay, but not a whole lot of it. This is not the pack type that you're looking for if you want deep gameplay additions. And the stuff packs are the most niche out of the 3 pack types since they are very specifically focused. Like Perfect Patio stuff, for example, which you're seeing on screen right now, it's focused on adding new furniture and clothing that makes sense with a patio environment. And for the new gameplay items, they add hot tubs. And at this point, since there are 14 of them, there's quite a variety to choose from. There's some that focus on adding more things for kids and toddlers. There's one that focuses on adding bowling, another that is all about just hanging out at home and watching movies and being able to make popcorn. So yeah, it all really depends on your interests, which stuff packs you think you should go for. To keep things simple, I will just list my top 3 for each pack type as we go through them. So my top 3 favorite stuff packs are kids room stuff, laundry day stuff, and backyard stuff. because I really love having my Sims go outside, so backyard stuff is a really good pack for me, and it has the bird feeder and the wind chimes and some really colorful furniture, and probably is my favorite pack in terms of Create a Sim items. I don't know, it has some competition. And Laundry Day stuff I did not expect to be so high on my rankings for stuff packs, but it ended up being a really useful one, because laundry, I feel like, does add some realism to my game, and I love the furniture and clothing in this one as well, especially since, yeah, it does kind of go with a rustic theme, and I do feel like we get too much modern furniture in The Sims lately, so yeah, I feel like Laundry Day stuff really breaks from the norm in a very good way. And then kids room stuff, I do like playing as families a lot, and I do feel like kids don't get enough gameplay additions, especially in comparison to young adults. So it was a real breath of fresh air to have kids room stuff where you can battle these Pokemon-like cards and have a puppet theater. It's just a really nice pack for me overall. But now let's move on to the game packs. These are priced at $20 US and are the middle ground because they have more content than a stuff pack, but they don't have as much as an expansion pack. At the time of making this video, there are 7 of these available, and depending on who you ask, game packs are the best sort of pack type available for The Sims 4, because in certain ways, game packs can actually be a bit deeper than an expansion pack, because what the game packs do is that they take a fairly specific focus and they go really deep with it. So a good example of that is Dine Out, which is the one that you're seeing on screen right now. This one not only allows you to dine at restaurants, but be able to run them as well as a business. And you have a lot of control as to what type of restaurant you want to have. You can customize the menu, you can customize who works there, what uniforms they wear, and some other perks that you can unlock if you are running the restaurant. So there's a lot of possibilities if you just let your imagination run wild. For example, you can run a really bad fast food joint, and if you own the Outdoor Retreat game pack, then maybe you could have all your employees dress in bear costumes. Because the Outdoor Retreat game pack allows your Sims to visit a campsite called Granite Falls, and the bear costume does come with that pack. So there's also things that can really integrate if you own multiple packs, because depending on what packs you have, you'll also have more food options than you would normally. So if you want to run a restaurant that is more focused on international cuisine, then the City Living expansion pack will really come in handy. And honestly, so far, I've actually liked every single game pack that has come out. I feel like they are the most consistent in terms of quality, and my top 3 game packs are Vampires, Parenthood, and Strangerville. My interests do go a little out of the ordinary sometimes. I really like having some of that fantasy sort of element in The Sims, so that's why Vampires is at the top of my list, and I think Vampires are just really well done. They really went in depth with them in comparison to previous games where you have lots of different powers that you can choose from, so you can have all these different types of vampires, and Parenthood kind of ties into what I was saying about kids room stuff earlier, because I do like playing as families, and it does add a lot more depth with the character values and kids being able to work on after school projects and just a whole bunch of other cute stuff in that pack. And Strangerville is a pretty, well, strange one, as the name implies, where you get this new desert town called Strangerville, where there's some really weird things going on, and if you want to, you can dive deep into the mystery and just get to the bottom of things and help save the town. And finally, we move on to the expansion packs, which cost $40 US and do come out once to twice a year, just like the game packs do. Expansion packs are meant to be the crowd pleasers. They are the most substantial changes to the game and appeal to a wider variety of players than the other 2 pack types. At the time of making this video, there are 6 expansion packs available, with a rumored Tropical Paradise expansion to be coming out at the end of June. The example I'm using here is Cats and Dogs. The Pets expansion packs for The Sims tend to be the most popular ones, and for good reason, because without cats and dogs, you can't have, well, cats or dogs or raccoons or foxes. And it's just a lot of cuteness added to the game. And it does, again, kind of like with Laundry Day stuff, it does add more realism to the game. And especially if you are trying to recreate your family and you own some pets in real life, it's easier to really nail that realism because then you can recreate your cat or your dog. And the creative pet that's added through this expansion pack is so detailed. You can paint on your pets, so you can really just add a lot of customization if the pre-made breeds in the game aren't quite what your cat or dog looks like, and you can even dress them up in clothing if you want to do that. But in addition to being able to own a cat or a dog, there's also a brand new world, and almost every expansion pack so far has come with a world. And in the case of cats and dogs, it's Brindleton Bay, which is very East Coast inspired, and your Sims can also run their own vet clinic. The system works pretty similarly to running a restaurant and dine out, with some key differences since you're looking after sick pets instead of tending to patrons and their orders. And even if you're not playing as a vet, your pets can get sick, so occasionally you will need to drop by the vet clinic so you can have your pet treated, and you can also spay or neuter them if you want. And there's also some pretty interesting treats you can make for your pets if your veterinarian skill is up high enough. You can even make your pets poop gold that's worth a decent amount of money, so while that is kind of weird, it's kind of an interesting sort of venture if you want to get into it. So my top 3 favorite expansion packs right now are Seasons, Cats and Dogs, and Get Famous. Seasons is my favorite expansion pack most of the time for each Sims game because Seasons really brings so much change to the game. Cats and Dogs really does as well since pets are a pretty big deal. But even if you're just playing as any sim, then weather can really affect your gameplay, and not every single day will be the same, because if you don't have seasons, then every day is just gonna be sunny. It's not gonna be any change there. And it does give a nice passage of time as well, and it's just kind of nice to see your Sims age up with the seasons as they go by. And it does also add a calendar system, which is pretty handy because then you can plan events in advance, and you can also make your own holidays. I also really love some of the new gameplay objects like the kiddie pool and the beekeeping box, and the clothing and objects in Seasons are some of my favorites in the game as well. And then Get Famous unexpectedly became my 3rd favorite expansion pack. I'm not normally into the glitz and glamorous life, but Get Famous really impressed me. So your Sims are able to live in the new world of Del Sol Valley, which to be honest I think is a bit too small, especially considering it is based off Los Angeles, which is a pretty big place. But I really like the gameplay that came with this pack, because not only is there the fame system, there's reputation, so you can actually affect what other Sims think of you depending on how you act. Like, you can be really mean to other Sims and you'll get a negative reputation, or if you do really good things like donating to charities and just being friendly with other Sims, then your reputation will become more positive. And there's a lot of different ways to become famous too. The easiest way is going into the new acting career where you can actually follow your Sims to work. But especially if you own more packs, there are other ways as well. Like if you get to the top of your career, then you will get some fame for that. And there's even certain things like, to bring up city living again, that comes with the singing skill. So if you practice singing in public, you can get some fame for that too. And that pretty much wraps up what you can basically call my starter's guide to DLC for The Sims 4. So if I did not have any of the packs for The Sims 4, the bundle that I would probably make is Seasons as the expansion pack, Parenthood as the game pack, and Kids Room Stuff as the stuff pack. Of course, you don't need to do that exact same thing if you don't want to, because there's so many different packs right now and so many different tastes. So I recommend just looking up every pack on Origin and seeing what each pack offers you. Maybe look up some reviews around the internet and just Yeah, just educate yourself more. I mean, I did give a little bit of an overview on some of the packs, but yeah, I definitely recommend just looking into all the packs that are available before you firmly decide which ones you want to start off with. I know The Sims can become a very expensive hobby if you allow it to be. I've been playing since The Sims 1, so I know this pretty well. But I quickly want to mention mods, since they are a free alternative, though they're not made by EA. So just explore mods at your own risk, but there's definitely lots of mods out there that I would recommend, and I do occasionally review them on my channel, so wink wink, that's a good reason to subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, there's some really awesome ones out there. I'm just really impressed by the talent in the Sims community. And as much as I like The Sims, I will admit it's not perfect, and the modding community often fills in gaps that the developers tend to leave. And they tend to add some really cool things that probably wouldn't be in the game otherwise, especially if you want to get into some really, not PG-13 sort of things. And to those of you who are getting into The Sims for the first time by getting The Sims 4 for free, I really hope you enjoy the game. I've been enjoying The Sims for almost 2 decades, so yeah, I really hope The Sims can bring you lots of joy and entertainment. But anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here, so be sure to subscribe if you want to keep up with my latest content from The Sims, Sonic the Hedgehog, and more. So I'll talk to you all later, and have a great day. Thanks for watching!